The metal water bottle hits the cafeteria floor with a sound like a gunshot. Water explodes across tile, soaking backpacks and sneakers. 200 students freeze because Ryan Cole is standing over the new girl, and his smile is the kind that makes your stomach drop. "Oops," he says loud enough for the whole room to hear. "Guess military school didn't teach you how to hold on to things." Tessa Hayes is 17 years old and 5 feet 4 inches. Right now, she is crouched on the floor picking up a stainless steel bottle with a logo nobody recognizes. She wipes it clean with her sleeve, slow and deliberate. When she stands, her voice is so quiet that Ryan has to lean in to hear it. "That was a mistake." Ryan laughs. Derek Whitman laughs. Half the varsity table laughs because when Ryan Cole finds something funny, you laugh too. Or you eat lunch alone for the rest of the year. But Marcus Chin, sitting 2 tables over with a physics textbook open, does not laugh. He is watching the way Tessa's shoulders stay level, the way her feet are planted exactly shoulder width apart. He is remembering the first week of school when she was his lab partner, and she handled a volatile chemical setup with a kind of precision that made their teacher stop mid-lecture to watch. "What are you going to do, cadet freak?" Ryan leans closer. "Going to cry? Going to run to the office?" Tessa does not answer. She sets the bottle on the table, zips her backpack, and sits back down. Her hands are steady, her breathing is steady. But something in her eyes has changed. A shift so subtle that only Marcus notices it. The lunch period has 42 minutes left. Ryan Cole has no idea that in less than half that time, everything he thinks he knows about power will be proven wrong. Ryan does not sit down. He is still standing, still performing for his audience. "I heard you got kicked out of some military school," Ryan says, picking up Tessa's notebook without permission. "What happened? Couldn't hack it?" Tessa looks up, her expression so calm it is almost unsettling. "I withdrew. Medical reasons." "Yeah," Derek adds, grinning. "Mental case." Tessa does not react. Marcus can see the first page of her notebook. A handwritten note at the top in block letters, 90-day probation. No physical altercations. An RMA transfer agreement. Ryan sees it too. His grin falters for just a second, but then he doubles down. "So you're on probation. Perfect. That means you can't do anything even if you wanted to." He is right. And Tessa knows it. 83 days ago, she signed a document promising that if she got into any physical confrontation, justified or not, she would lose her military academy record and any chance of reinstatement. Derek pulls out his phone and takes a photo. The shutter sound is obnoxious. 30 seconds later, Tessa's phone buzzes. She has been added to a group chat called Cafeteria Weirdos with 47 members. The first message is Derek's photo of her captioned, "New girl thinks she's G.I. Jane, LOL." Tessa looks at the screen for exactly 2 seconds. Then she takes a screenshot. Then she opens her voice memo app, the one that has been recording since Ryan knocked over her water bottle, and she checks the timestamp. For minutes 30 seconds. She locks her phone and puts it back in her pocket. Marcus Chin is not supposed to be paying attention to any of this. But instead, he is watching Tessa's hands. They are not shaking. They are not clenched. They are resting flat on the table like she is waiting for something. Ryan is still talking. "You know what I think? I think you washed out. I think you couldn't handle real training, so you came here to pretend you're normal." Tessa tilts her head just slightly, and for the first time since this started, she smiles. It is not a friendly smile. "You should step back." "Or what?" She does not answer. Ryan takes it as permission. He reaches across the table, casual as anything, and swipes his arm across Tessa's lunch tray. The tray flips, spilling pasta and sauce across the floor. Laughter erupts from the varsity table, from the tables nearby, from people who do not even know what is happening. Tessa stands. She picks up the tray. She walks to the trash can, scrapes off what can be scraped, wipes the tray clean with napkins, and brings it back to her table. Every movement is economical, efficient. Marcus is staring now because when Derek swiped that tray, Tessa stepped back exactly 18 inches. Not 17, not 19. 18. The optimal distance to avoid a follow-up strike while maintaining visual contact with the aggressor. He knows this because he just Googled it under the table. Ryan is getting frustrated. Nothing he does is landing. Tessa is not crying, not yelling, not running away. She is just sitting there. "Maybe you should transfer again," Ryan says, leaning down so his face is level with hers. "We don't need military rejects here." Tessa looks at him for a long moment. Then she says very quietly, "You should step back." She does not answer. In her pocket, her phone is still recording. 4 minutes has become 8. 8 has become 10. Derek moves around to Tessa's left side. Ryan is on her right. They are not touching her yet, but the threat is clear. 2-on-1. No teachers in sight. Ryan reaches out fast and shoves Tessa's shoulder. Not hard enough to knock her over, but hard enough to make his point. Tessa rocks back in her chair, and for a second it looks like she's going to fall, but she does not. She drops her center of gravity, plants her feet, and when she comes back upright, her stance has changed. Derek does not notice. He steps closer, reaching for her backpack, and Tessa moves. Not a big movement, just a twist of her wrist, a small redirection of Derek's arm that makes him stumble sideways into the table. "Grab her," Ryan says. Derek reaches again, and this time Tessa catches his wrist mid-grab. She twists, not hard, just enough to rotate his arm inward, and Derek drops to one knee with a yelp. She releases him immediately, steps back, and returns to that same neutral stance. The cafeteria is silent now. "You just assaulted him," Ryan says. "He grabbed me," Tessa says, calm as ever. "I moved his hand." "There's no camera here," Ryan says. "No proof. It's our word against yours." Tessa does not respond. But Marcus Chan has just made a decision. He props his phone against his water bottle, angles it toward Tessa's table, and hits record. Ryan is done talking. He steps forward fast and shoves Tessa hard with both hands. This time, she does not just rock back. She stumbles, catches herself against the wall. "You think you're tough?" Ryan's voice is rising now. "You're nothing. You're a reject who couldn't make it in the real military, so you came here to play pretend." Tessa is backed against the wall now. Ryan is in front of her, Derek on her left. No exits, no teachers. Ryan pulls his arm back. It is not a slap. It is not a shove. It is a punch. Closed fist aimed at Tessa's face. Tessa raises her hands defensive, but she does not move forward. She does not throw a punch back. She just stands there because in her head she is doing math. 7 days. She has 7 days left on her 90-day probation. Ryan's fist is 6 inches from her face when someone yells, "Stop!" But nobody stops. Nobody comes to help. Derek grabs Tessa's left arm. Ryan's fist is still coming. Tessa closes her eyes, not in fear, in calculation. Because 7 days is close enough. Because there are 200 witnesses. Because Marcus Chin's phone is recording. Ryan's punch moves forward. Tessa's eyes open. 7 days is close enough. Ryan's fist is 4 inches from her face when Tessa moves. Not backward, not to the side. Forward into the punch. She catches his wrist mid-swing, her grip firm but not crushing, and she pivots. 180 degrees hip turn. Her whole body becomes a fulcrum. And Ryan's momentum has nowhere to go except over her shoulder. He goes airborne. His back hits the cafeteria table behind him with a sound like a bass drum. Trays rattle. Ryan makes a noise that is half grunt, half shock. Derek lets go of Tessa's arm. He steps back, hands up. But Ryan is his friend. So Derek steps forward, reaches for Tessa again, and she catches his wrist just like she caught Ryan's. This time, she does not throw him. She just twists. A small inward rotation that makes Derek's elbow bend wrong. He drops to one knee, and Tessa holds the lock for exactly 2 seconds before releasing him. Derek scrambles back. Ryan is getting to his feet slower than he went down. "She attacked us," Ryan says loud enough for everyone to hear. "You all saw it. She attacked us." Nobody responds because they did not see that. "There's no camera here. No proof. It's her word against ours. And guess who they're going to believe?" That is when Marcus Chin stands up. He is holding his phone. The screen is facing out. The video is paused on a frame that shows Ryan mid-punch. "I got the whole thing," Marcus says. The cafeteria erupts in a low murmur that spreads like wildfire. Ryan's face goes pale. And Tessa, for the first time since this started, allows herself a small, tight smile. Marcus is walking toward them now, phone still held out. As he gets closer, Tessa's water bottle comes into focus on the screen. The logo is visible. Northridge Military Academy, Cadet Leadership Program. Ryan is backing up now. "She's on probation. She's not supposed to fight. She broke the rules too." Tessa finally speaks. "I defended myself with minimal necessary force after you threw a punch and your friend grabbed me. I have 15 minutes of audio recording your threats and harassment. Marcus has video proof you struck first. And I have screenshots of the group chat where you posted my photo without consent." She pauses. "I stayed quiet for 83 days because I was on probation. I documented everything because I knew you would not stop, and I waited until I had enough evidence that nobody could call this mutual combat." Ryan does not have a response. The cafeteria doors open. Vice Principal Laura Brennan walks in. She takes one look at Ryan on the ground, at Derek nursing his arm, at Tessa standing calm and collected, and her expression hardens. "My office," she says, pointing at Ryan and Derek. "Now!" Then she looks at Tessa. "You too." Tessa picks up her backpack, her water bottle, her phone. As she walks past Ryan, she says one more thing. Quiet enough that only he can hear. "Your brother did the same thing at Northridge. I saved him from a barracks fire, and your family blamed me to cover their negligence. I transferred to get away from that. Guess the cycle followed me here." Ryan's face goes white. Marcus Chin uploads the video to the school's anonymous reporting portal before anyone can tell him not to. Vice Principal Brennan's office smells like old coffee and furniture polish. Tessa sits across from the desk, hands folded in her lap, posture straight. Ryan sits 3 chairs down. "Someone want to tell me what happened out there?" Ryan speaks first. "She attacked me and Derek unprovoked." Brennan looks at Tessa. "Is that accurate?" "No, ma'am." Tessa reaches into her pocket and sets her phone on the desk. "I have 15 minutes of audio documenting threats and harassment. I also have screenshots of a group chat where my photo was posted without consent. And a witness who recorded video evidence showing that Ryan threw the first punch. May I?" "Yes, ma'am." Brennan presses play. Ryan's voice fills the room. "What happened?" "Couldn't hack it. Mental case. Maybe you should transfer again. We don't need military rejects here." Brennan stops the recording. "Is this your voice?" Ryan shifts. "I mean, we were joking around. Does this sound like joking to you?" Ryan does not answer. Brennan pulls up her computer and clicks on the newest submission to the reporting portal. The video starts. Ryan knocking over Tessa's water bottle. Ryan shoving her, Derek grabbing her arm, and then Ryan pulling back his fist, throwing a punch aimed directly at Tessa's face. The video shows Tessa catching his wrist. The pivot, Ryan going over her shoulder, Derek stepping forward, Tessa catching his wrist. The controlled twist. 0.3 seconds. 3 moves. 0 aggression on Tessa's part until the moment Ryan threw that punch. Brennan pauses the video. She zooms in. Tessa's water bottle. Northridge Military Academy. You attended a military academy? Yes, ma'am. I transferred here 90 days ago under a probationary agreement. What kind of agreement? No physical altercations within 90 days, or I forfeit my academy record and any chance of reinstatement. Brennan is quiet. So you knew that if you fought back, even in self-defense, you could lose everything? Yes, ma'am. And you still defended yourself? I had 7 days left on probation. I determined that documented evidence of an unprovoked assault, combined with video proof that I used only minimal necessary force in self-defense, would provide sufficient legal coverage. The room goes very quiet. You're 17 years old, Brennan says slowly. Yes, ma'am. I'm also the daughter of a military attorney and a former cadet at an institution that teaches leadership, ethics, and accountability. I know my rights. Brennan closes her laptop. She looks at Ryan. Get out. I'll call you back in when I'm ready. Ryan stands. My dad is going to hear about this. I'm sure he will. And I'm sure the district superintendent will be very interested in hearing about it too, along with the Department of Defense Education activity, since this involves a military dependent under their jurisdiction. Ryan leaves. Why didn't you come to me earlier? Because I needed evidence that would hold up under scrutiny. Single incidents can be dismissed as misunderstandings. A pattern documented over time with audio, video, and digital evidence cannot. You set a trap. I created a documented record. Brennan shakes her head slowly. I need to make some calls. You're not in trouble, but I need you to wait outside. Tessa stands. Ma'am. Ryan mentioned his father. His father is Colonel James Cole, retired Army. His older brother is Ethan Cole, currently serving. 3 years ago at Northridge, there was a barracks fire. I pulled Ethan out. The investigation concluded that faulty wiring caused the fire. But the Cole family pressured officials to blame me for smoking in the barracks to protect Ethan's record. I was forced to transfer under threat of court-martial proceedings against my father if I contested the findings. Brennan's expression hardens. Do you have proof of this? I have the original incident report, the amended report, and correspondence between my father and Colonel Cole. I've been waiting 3 years for a chance to submit it to an impartial review board. Submit it to me. Everything you have. Thank you, ma'am. The waiting takes 3 days. On day 1, Ryan and Derek are formally suspended for 10 days pending expulsion hearings. On day 2, the video hits local news. On day 3, DOTA announces an investigation into the NRMA barracks fire incident. On day 4, Tessa goes back to school. The cafeteria goes quiet when she walks in, but it is not the hostile silence from before. Marcus joins her. Saved you a seat? Tessa smiles. Thanks. Other students drift over throughout the lunch period. Not everyone, but enough that by the end, Tessa is sitting with a group of 6 talking about homework and college applications. It feels normal. The formal hearing happens 2 weeks later. The evidence is reviewed. The audio is played. The video is screened. Witnesses testify. The district review board deliberates for 30 minutes. When they return, the head of the board reads the findings. Ryan Cole is expelled for initiating an assault, creating a hostile educational environment, and violating the district's anti-harassment policy. Derek Whitman is suspended for the remainder of the semester. Both are required to complete 100 hours of community service and attend anger management counseling. Ryan's father stands immediately. This is unacceptable. We're appealing. That is your right. However, the decision stands pending appeal. Additionally, the Department of Defense Education Activity has opened an investigation into related incidents at Northridge Military Academy. Any further interference will be considered obstruction. Colonel Cole walks out without another word. Derek's parents approach Tessa afterward. We're sorry, his mother says. You shouldn't have had to go through that. Tessa nods. I appreciate that. The next month moves fast. The district adopts a new policy requiring mandatory reporting training. The policy is officially called the Hayes Protocol. DOTA completes its investigation. The findings are damning. Ethan Cole was storing contraband. Colonel Cole pressured officials to amend the report. 3 officers are reprimanded. Colonel Cole is removed from his position. Ethan Cole receives a formal reprimand. Northridge Military Academy issues a formal apology. They offer Tessa reinstatement with full honors. Tessa declines. She sends a polite email explaining that she has decided to complete her education in the civilian system. She does not need their validation. She proved that in a cafeteria on an October afternoon when she stayed quiet until the exact right moment and then stopped being quiet in a way that nobody could ignore. 3 months after the incident, Tessa walks into the cafeteria and sits at her usual table. Marcus is already there along with 4 other students she now considers friends. Ryan is at a different school finishing his senior year online. Derek is back sitting alone. Tessa watches him for a moment. He looks up, catches her eye. Derek nods, small and quick, and looks away. It is not an apology, but it is an acknowledgement. And for now, that is enough. Tessa pulls out her notebook and writes at the top in neat block letters, Day 183, Civilian Life, Take 2. She pauses. Then she adds one more line underneath, Mistakes teach you. This one taught them. She closes the notebook, picks up her water bottle with the NRMA logo still visible and unapologetic, and takes a drink. The cafeteria is loud. Somebody is laughing at the table behind her. Marcus is showing her a meme on his phone. And everything is exactly as mundane and normal as she always hoped it could be. She fought for this, not with fists, though she used those when she had to. She fought with patience and documentation and the kind of strategic thinking that turns silence into power. The bell rings. Tessa packs up her notebook and walks out with Marcus and the others. They are talking about the physics test next period. Tessa is thinking about something her father told her once. The best fights are the ones you win without throwing a punch. She threw 3 moves in 3 seconds, and she does not regret it. But the real fight happened in the 83 days before that. It happened in voice memos and screenshots and strategic positioning. It happened in knowing the rules well enough to use them, and in trusting that as she built the case right, the system would have no choice but to listen. She was right. Walking through the hallways of a school that finally feels like it might be hers, Tessa Hayes allows herself something she has not felt in 3 years. Relief. The story ends here. Not with a dramatic confrontation or a tearful reunion, but with a girl walking to class, surrounded by friends, carrying a water bottle that proudly displays the logo of a place she no longer attends, but will always carry with her. She does not need to prove anything else. She already proved everything that mattered. Ryan Cole learned that power has limits. Derek Whitman learned that silence makes you complicit. Marcus Chen learned that doing the right thing is terrifying and necessary. And Tessa Hayes learned that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is wait. Mistakes teach you. This one taught them.